Fair Faces, it's me. I'm driving home. It's Friday. I'm so happy. End of the week. But, you know, got a busy weekend. As a busy mom, though, I have become really good at multitasking. I've always been, I think, kind of naturally good at multitasking. Not just because I'm a woman. I mean, that's where I got a one-up, right? But women are always better multitaskers, I think, than guys. Just the way that our brains work, really. Left and right brains actually have more connections with each other than do males, so we can bounce back and forth a little bit more easier. But anyway, I want to just give some tips on multitasking, because I know that it doesn't come, even for women, it doesn't like always come as naturally to some people. And I would say start with things that are less important. Practice on those until you can get better, because some things just really shouldn't be multitasked. You know, like if you have a really big paper, you know, you want to put that first. If you have a really big project, whatever, put that first. Don't multitask on that. You know, I think that's part of multitasking, is knowing what to multitask and what not to multitask. But like I said, as mothers, you just kind of naturally, lots of traffic. Like right now, I'm multitasking right now in traffic. Some people might not think this is a good idea, but I'm confident enough in my abilities to be able to do this. And, you know, obviously you're going to still prioritize. Obviously, I'm going to prioritize. If I choose to multitask, which I am right now, you can see since I've been into traffic, I haven't looked. Well, there you go. I looked once. So it's the first time I've looked at the camera, which again isn't really necessary. You know, like my video may suffer, but whatever. I can always redo it, still get my point across, and double check it later. Again, this is part of my point, though, is that you need to prioritize which part of your multitasking is most important, so that you can know if you need to stop multitasking. And you can just, throughout your multitasking, you can make decisions as to which one to give most of your attention to. So for instance, if you're multitasking, say working out while you're with the kids, if they're small, you know, you are still, or say you're trying to work with your kids are still going to be the number one priority, and that's going to take precedent. You're going to go back to your work later, or go back to your workout later. So that's important to kind of keep in mind. But also, I would just say, try to make it try to make things habits. It's really good if you have really mundane things that you hate to do. If you can somehow multitask to make that issue, to make that task an easier or more enjoyable task, or just more productive. Like for instance, the commute. I mean, it's exactly what I'm doing. I hate commutes. That's like one of the reasons why I've built my life the way that I have. It's one of the things I've always tried to avoid. I just have always hated rush hour traffic. And so doing my videos, some of my videos during this time, or finding other things. It's not always a video. Sometimes I just like to talk to myself, and I'll do my affirmations. I'll do different affirmational strategies during that time. And I find that sort of helps counterbalance the negative energies that I would normally have. Normally in the past, I would have just listened to music, and even, you know, I've always had really old cars that always, like, they never, like, when CD players were popular, I never even had a CD player. Now that, like, it's on to, like, MP3 players and stuff like that, I have a setup like that. I could totally use it. I've got the aux cord and everything, but I'm still in the habit of using that time. And if I do play music, it's like some sort of motivational music a lot of times, because this is my time to get my thoughts straight. This is my time to multitask and do all that sort of thing. So again, also another thing that I might do in the car is, if I'm not using one hand to vlog or something else, then I will like kind of massage my head. And this has de-stressing qualities, but it also makes my hair grow faster, which I love. And, you know, again, it's just something that I can work into my day. It's something, little positive thing that I can do. Not only makes me feel better physically, you know, gives me hope, you know, that my hair is growing faster, but it also just makes me feel more productive. And I just think that sort of things, these little tweaks that you can do, you know, they just really can help your confidence and help your motivation and I think confidence mainly, because I always talk about this, but anytime you're feeling more confident about your day, you're feeling more productive, you're feeling happier about what you're doing, that's going to actually lead, inadvertently or not, or advertently, to better decisions in the future. So, if we get down on ourselves and we feel like we're not productive, then that sometimes leads to, a binge out or, not wanting to work out. Sometimes, it can go both ways, I guess. But, I just think that overall, good decisions lead to more good decisions. So, just building these into your day, however you can, is just going to lead to more, things. So if you find it's not working, whatever you chose to multitask, let's say doing your work at the same time as, watching your kids just isn't working, just scrap it. Find a new way, find a time. That kind of goes back to the first couple of comments that I had. It's just prioritizing and figuring out what you can multitask and what you can't. Don't just go haphazardly and try to multitask everything, because you will get to that point where you're trying to do too much and you're at the risk of everything suffering, if you try to do too much at once. I think a lot of it takes planning too, and just going with the flow. It's planning, but it's not planning. Like, you can plan your life out to be multitasking. Like, you can say, okay, I want to stay home and be with my kids, so I'm going to work, and you can plan that. But also, sometimes you're just stuck in a position, okay, well, I have this time and this day, so what am I going to do with this extra time while I'm also doing this? Like, sometimes when you're at work, you can, check your emails that are non-work related. Sometimes you just have to be in the moment to say, wow, I have this time. What can I best do with this time? That sort of thing. So I think a lot of it's just common sense, and a lot of it's just trial and error. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it right now. But I definitely do believe in multitasking. But as far as your goals go, when you have like a really big goal, I think you should kind of narrow it down to like one goal. I think that's one thing that I've always been really interested in the law of attraction and stuff, but one of my weaknesses in following the law of attraction and just different motivational things that I've learned is one of my problems is not being able to really focus on my best number one goal. And that sort of takes me away from it, because I think you really want to just have something, again, that when you're at the doctor's office, when you're in a line at the grocery store, you want to have that goal pop in your head. You want to have that mantra. You want to have that one thing that you're working on right now. And I tend to switch it and think of 5,000 things I want and all of that. And that is one thing that I would suggest not multitasking on. Trying to really achieve too many goals at once. Some goals are intrinsically connected, but as far as if you need to make a goal, really know what you want, because when it comes to that, if you have something that you really want, you're gonna stop yourself from over multitasking. If you, a lot of times women are like, oh, I'm so good at multitasking, I can become the PTA president and still get my other goals. If you're working on weight loss, you need to know that that is your number one goal. And sometimes if you take on too many other side projects, then that's going to detract from your goal. And you need to know enough to know that. And you need to say, no, I'm not going to let anything get in the way of my gym time. I'm not going to let anything get in the way of my, Sunday afternoon shopping and prep time. I'm not going to sign up for too many sports with my kids or sign up for a class at that time, so that you can do that. So again, that's why one of the most important things is knowing, what you can and what you cannot multitask on, knowing your priorities. So yeah, but when you're working out, if you can listen to an audio book, of your textbook or something, that shit's awesome. And if you can have your motivational, songs, I feel like music, it should be motivational to you too, because that's kind of multitasking in itself. Anyway, let me know what you guys like to multitask on, what you don't like to multitask on. Maybe we can kind of continue this discussion a little bit further. I definitely feel like working out and babysitting little kids, that's one of the main things, that I think mothers have got to make time for this, got to make time for that. And that's something that is such a natural thing for us to multitask on, because and so for some it's not, but I think it's great for kids to grow up seeing their mother or father working out. It just has so many, ingrained benefits in it as well. But it's like mothers are so stressed, and I just firmly believe that there are so many things that you can just do around the house. I firmly believe in like compound exercises, like exercising, like I said, at home. You don't necessarily need, and making it fun. I firmly believe in making working out fun. I don't necessarily believe that it should be going to the gym, doing the same thing every time, doing the same movements with super heavy weights. I just don't believe in that as much as just like doing fun things, going on a bike ride. Like, invest in your family, and it'll be fun for your kids to feel the wind through their hair or whatever, and all of that. So, and take the dog for a run or whatever, and take the kids out there and go for a hike, and all of that is just such good memory building things for you guys to do. And it also kind of pushes your kids, even from a young age, to get them to, I really believe that part of the reason, and there's a lot of reasons my kids are really, really super healthy, but one of the reasons is we used to take them on really long hikes, from a really young age, and just getting in that, not only in the habit, but doing that when they're younger, when their muscles are still growing, when their bones are still growing, and all of that, really, really important. So don't be afraid to make it a family activity, and in that way you're multitasking as well. So and kids, so many ways to multitask with kids. When you're cooking, bringing them into it, you can bring in math lessons, you can bring in cleaning up lessons, all of it at the same time. Kids are great to multitask with. But anyway, like I said, let me know, because I'm sure my ideas are geared more towards like family oriented and stuff like that, because that's, I rember just being trying to be a professional as a mother, and being basically a stay-at-home single mom. It's like, wow, like that was one of my biggest issues when I would always talk to my mentors, was like, how the hell do I manage my time? Like, what are the rules? Give me some rules for this. And it's hard. You just kind of got to work it out each season, each day at a time. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I will talk to you soon. Hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to eat your fruit.